impossível resistir ao trocadilho. Nos Estados Unidos, Savion vira Savior, o Salvador. Garoto prodígio de uma arte velha, não apenas resgatou o sapateado, que andava cambaleante em meio às novidades da dança contemporânea. Ele o trouxe para o novo. Estrela da Broadway aos 12 anos, protagonista de um filme de Spike Lee aos 27, é apontado por muitos como o maior sapateador de todos os tempos. Capaz de fazer uma sola de sapato soar como uma orquestra. Nascido em Newark, uma das mais pobres e violentas cidades do país, filho de mãe solteira, Savio Glover é a personificação do sonho americano. Aos 6 anos, a mãe o matriculou na aula de bateria. O menino transformava tudo em batuque e ela temia que um dia a casa não aguentasse de pé. Hoje, baquetas só por diversão. Cada passo de Savio Glover é para modernizar, tornar viva e, se possível, eterna a arte do sapateado. No mesmo prédio onde fez as primeiras aulas de dança, montou uma escola para ensinar crianças pobres, como ele foi um dia. Lá, Savio Glover conversou com exclusividade com o Almanaque.
Did your mom help you, keeping concentrated and focused on tap dancing?
Yeah, we used to, my brothers and I, we used to, beat on anything we can in the house. So yeah, that did kind of force my mom to enroll us in school. Actually, this building that we're in now, this is where I first started off. This is the building I took drum classes in, actually right in this same room. So that's why this building is so significant in my life and to us.
What it means to you to come back here and teach kids now?
Oh, man.
Especially from this area, Newark.
Yeah, being in this area and I mean, besides being able to teach, just being able to come back to this area as often as I do, it's just wonderful. It just reminds me of the days when I look at the kids that come here, and even if they're not dancers, they just want to come hang out in the building and whatnot. It definitely reminds me of the days when I was that age and just running around and wanting to get into something. So I'm very happy that I can offer not only class to the youth, but just a space, a place to be. But I'm very happy to be able to again give back, give back to the community and give back to all those who know me in the neighborhood and then abroad. I'm happy that people can come from all over the world and come to Newark to study, where they probably wouldn't be found in Newark, unless it was just at the airport.
We learn about different stories of children who are very, very promising and like phenomenons, and they don't come to a very good adult in terms of art and in terms of human beings too. They suffer a lot. By the age of 12, you were already pointed as a genius of tap dancing. It was never a big pressure on you?
Well, I look at all of the kids, all of the youth, and I say they all are special. Not that they would have what I had, because the tools and the resources and the people are not here, the ones that I had. So I think they will be special in another way. Their genius would come through in another way. But I can't say that they will get the same tutelage or knowledge or education that I had, because again, those people are not here any longer. So again, they're just all special in their own way, you know.
Who are those people and which are those tools you had?
Well, I had men like Jimmy Slide and the great, you know, Gregory Hines, the great Lon Chaney, and Buster Brown and Steve Condos, and just all of these men, Chuck Green, George Hillman. I was able to just be around them and get to know them away from the dance, get to know them personally, and they, you know, they poured so much love into me that I would be, forever, I would acknowledge them, you know, as not only being some of the greatest entertainers that we've had in the world, but some of the greatest human beings that I've ever met. You know, beyond their genius and beyond their brilliance, they were just good people. And I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to learn from them, to love them, and to know them. And yeah, I'm happy to be able to pass that information along.
And now the kids have you. You don't think you're as good as them? As inspiring as them?
No, maybe I would be inspiring, but again, you know, we live in a different time now. You know, as we progress in the world with technology and everything, kids become, I guess, more interested in that, and that what moves the world forward. In my time, coming up, you know, we had, you know, human resources. Now we have technical resources, which is good, but at the same time, you know, we sort of lose that communication with each other. So I don't know. You know, again, the kids, they have to want it. It can't be forced on them. Me, I wanted it. You know, I was one who I wanted to just be around the men and women of the dance. I just wanted to be around. I found myself around them every chance, every opportunity I had. It wasn't by force. My mother did not force me to be with these people. I just loved them, and I loved being around them.
And you love to dance. You say you danced everywhere.
Everywhere. I danced everywhere. I can't remember. Once I started dancing, I cannot remember not dancing or not wanting to dance or express myself. Bus stops, train stations, classrooms. You know, I just never stopped thinking about it. Until this day, every day, all the time, I think, dance. My life is a dance thought.
You can even walk around. Some people have a different walk, you know? Some people are sad. Some people are happy. Some people are nervous. After that, it's all music. You create your song. Anything you want to say, you can say it through dance. Balance is the key.
You said that you see the kids interested in technology and things like that. By the time you began to appear for the big media and everyone started to look at you, people were saying that tap dance might have, you know, ended and no one would be interested in that anymore. And then you appeared, and now people dare to say that tap dance has never been as alive as it is today. You feel that it might happen again, like a new decrease on the interest, or
Well, I think due to the commerciality, if I can use that word, due to the commercialism of the dance now, it can die again. I think the dance was such a sacred thing of the past that because of its sacredness and because it was such a serious art form, people did not want to be associated with that. But then again, it now is popular and more commercial. So anything that is commercial is going to fade out. And those who maintain the sacredness with the dance, that sacred connection will remain, just like those of the past have remained. When I was coming up, and I never knew it to be dead or a lost art form. It had, you know, Gregory Hines had taken it to such a level where it became popular. It became commercial again, and then people were into it, and then it sort of, the interest faded away. Now it sort of came back when I started, you know, being in the public eye and whatnot. Now again, you have a bunch of kids who want to do it because I think it's like commercial again. But it's going to fade away, and then those of us who are left, who are in tune with the sacredness of the dance, will remain. So the dance always remains. The commerciality of the dance will fade away.
You think that this sacred aspect is good, is positive, or it's negative in terms of perpetuating the interest in the dance? It should be open. For example, I feel that your dance has so many modern elements. You try not to say hip hop tap dance, but tap dance. But you feel that like being open to new things and not being far from this sacred aspect would help improving it?
Well, again, it's nothing new. I think people associate me with hip hop because that's of this generation. But my dance is no different than Gregory Hines and Jimmy Slide, you know. In 50 years, they'll be calling it something else. Whatever the commercial name is, they'll be saying space tap or something like that. But it's still the same. So I think...
how do you call it?
It's just dance. It's just tap dance. That's what it is, and that's what it's forever going to be. Again, you know, it can become arcade game. It can become arcade tap. It can become internet tap. It can become whatever label you want to put on it. But, you know, it's like religion. You know, there's supposed to be a newfound religion now in the millennium. But it's the same God. The sky is still the same, you know. But the more we give birth to humans, the more we evolve, the more, you know, knowledgeable we become. So with knowledge comes sadness and grief. So people will try to say that, you know, they may call, even though it's a phone, they call it cellular phones. So these names, these additions will come. This camera, it may be called something else in the future, but it's still a camera. Vehicles, you know, a car. You know, they have Lamborghini, Porsche, Ford, all these names, but it's still a car. Same with the dance. You can say hip hop tap, jazz tap, bebop tap, funk tap, Arabian tap. It's still tap dance. Nothing is going to change. The only thing that is changing is those who do it, the energy we put out.
create a step? You still stole steps from masters, or you create by your own?
It's just expression. You know, once you move past steps, you get to a point where you're able to express yourself, and the steps are no longer, they don't matter anymore. So when I need a step, I steal a step, and I create something out of what I've stolen. But again, steps, I think with the commercialization of tap dancing, that's when the dance will die again, because people will run out of steps. Once they run out of steps, then they're bored with the dance. They can't express themselves. I am one who has reached the point where I can express myself, and I don't rely on a step. I rely on my self-expression. So, you know, a step can just be me putting my foot down, and someone can call that a step. Or a step that will get applause, or it looks intricate or something like that. You know, these names, these titles, these things kind of throw us off. But it's all self-expression. It all goes back to self-expression.
How much of that is inspiration, and how much of that is rehearsal and choreography?
You can see a car go by. You can see a baby cry. You can hear kids having fun. And you can, you know, bring those pictures to life through dance, through art, through any means or way of expression.
How much from what we see on stage is improvisation, and how much is a step you created and it was meant to be?
Well, I do what Gregory Hines has labeled as improvisation and choreography, which is improvography. It's a combination of choreography and improvisation. So, of course, we have a vocabulary of steps that we know, of course. And then we have this uncertain area that's just empty and ready to be attended to. And that's where the improvisation comes in. You take what you know and you don't do it the same, but you may do it on the other side. You may add something or take away something. But it's still the same, I guess the same approach, you know. It's not like sometimes I do things that I've never done before. And then sometimes, again, I may take something that I've done before and do it a different way, you know, maybe expressed differently. So yeah, that's what it is. I can't say that everything I do is improvisation. The approach is improvisational, but the dance has been prepared for me already.
When you talk about those people who influenced you the most, you never talk about Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly, who probably are the most known from general people. And why is that? They didn't influence you at all?
Not influence. Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly, they're not much of an influence on my dance or my approach to the dance because their style was different. You know, Jimmy Slide and people like this, Gregory Hines. Although these men were great assets to entertainment, Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, and Ruby Keeler, all of these great entertainers, but there was something about, you know, that conglomerate of men, that body of man, the way they did it was more inspiring to me. And also, they were less recognized. So I feel that the more we recognize a Jimmy Slide or a Baby Lawrence or a Leon Collins or a Ralph Brown. The more we recognize them, the more the youth and the world in general will become aware of these people's contribution, because you know, everyone knows about Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly and all of those people, but they don't really know about Baby Lawrence. You know, they don't really know about Henry Latang. They don't really know about Buck and Bubbles and Chuck Green and people like that. So I try to keep their name front page as much as I can.
And how about Happy Feet? How was the process of doing a choreography for a penguin to dance? Penguin can dance, a tap dance?
Happy Feet, again, it was a wonderful experience. We actually just finished doing a part 2 to Happy Feet, which is good. It's again, man, it's like it's such a it's a good thing for the art, for dance. You know, now again, with the popularity of the dance, I feel like Mumble, that character Mumble, is like a Shirley Temple for this generation. Mm-hmm. You know, the kids and the babies and the youth can see tap dance. They can see it in cartoon or in animation. But the whole experience was, it was great. The great George Miller, you know, he offered me the role and happily accepted. It was great, you know. It was a great experience. I'm very, very honored, you know, to be involved. Again, as long as I can, you know, like you said, stay true to myself and stay true to the art form that I know of as tap dancing, I'm happy.
That's right.